So it's time for us to go and take a look at the Magic Mouse 1 and see how the specific Magic Mouse holds up in 2023. Now, I kind of do think that this Magic Mouse really isn't worth buying anymore. If you still own it and you still enjoy it, then by all means keep it. But this wouldn't be the first mouse I would recommend people to buy anymore, mostly for one reason, and that's the AA or AAA battery that's inside. But overall, what I'll tell you is with the Magic Mouse, if you own it, still keep it. Visually, it looks pretty much the same thing as the Magic Mouse 2, but that charging capability I think is like the biggest reason why I would recommend updating. So if you want to buy a Magic Mouse 2, links will be down in the description. You can get them from there. You can help support the channel at the same time. Now, starting off with the outside of the Magic Mouse 1, you could see that we have that familiar design on the outside. So we did have that type of like glass material at the top, and I actually enjoyed that a lot. I love how premium this thing feels. And with this thing actually coming out in 2009, it's insane because it's actually in very, very good quality and feels very premium. It actually felt almost as premium as something like their MacBooks during that time, which is so insane. So this thing ended up coming out in 2009. It discontinued in 2015, basically for the second gen, Lightning Magic Mouse 2 to end up coming out. But this thing and that thing pretty much look identically the same. You had the Apple logo at like the bottom half of this specific Magic Mouse. And one thing I really did like about these mouses was that you have that little curvature on the side. So you can easily just go ahead and like rest your hands there and then kind of just, it feels very smooth and feels very nice. I will say after prolonged periods of time, it doesn't feel like the most, smoothest thing ever. I definitely do like some mouses like the Logitech MX3, whatever it's called. Those types of mouses, they're much beefier and much bigger. But I do like how those things kind of just like allow you to rest your hand. This thing, you kind of always have to kind of like hold your hand up a little bit. It's always kind of how I felt, but it still looks good. On the bottom, you have that Apple logo as well as that removable battery slot. So you can easily go ahead and basically lift off that battery cover. You can replace the battery if you want to, which again is something you're going to pretty much have to do here. And that is it basically on the outside. It's a very minimalistic type of looking, Apple, Magic Mouse. There's not any crazy features that this thing has that you would want to go ahead and pick it up. I always prefer Apple's, array of desktop accessories, things like their Magic Keyboard and their Magic Trackpad, because they just work so well with macOS. And Apple tunes these specific, the hardware and the software to give you a really good experience. And the Magic Mouse is no different. Now, when you're actually using this thing day to day, you're going to have a pretty good experience. It's a Bluetooth mouse, so as long as you're okay with replacing the batteries, you're really not going to have too many issues with it. I've always felt like this thing was a pretty good mouse with a lot of capability inside. So if you're wanting to go ahead and actually, connect this thing to really any sort of Mac right now, you're basically going to be able to do that, which is honestly pretty cool. So even though this thing is a little bit older, if you want to connect it to the latest M2 MacBooks, you can do that. Or if you want to connect it to an older, Mac, you can do that too by just connecting this thing via Bluetooth. So that's always a nice thing that you have with this mouse, which is honestly pretty awesome. Now, that's kind of it on the outside. There's a few things that you can kind of do with this Mac mouse that I've always preferred. So for one, the glass trackpad up top, you can actually go ahead and basically utilize that with gestures, which is very nice. So you can go ahead and kind of like scroll the top wheel little thing. There's no wheel, but you can scroll the top little glass portion. Or you can kind of scroll through certain things within your, desktop or within a web page. And, those things are kind of cool. It clicks and clacks just like any other mouse, I'm sure you know. And that's kind of it. There's really not too much else going on here. It's a pretty minimalistic mouse, and I don't think there's too much to kind of ramble on here. It works as it should. The batteries last quite a bit of time, but remember they are not rechargeable. You have to go and actually physically take them out and replace them if you want to. And they take 2 AA batteries, so I'm sure it lasts quite a bit of time, but it's still annoying that you have to replace these batteries every once in a while. And overall, I don't really think this Magic Mouse is pretty much worth it anymore. If you're currently using it and you have a good time with it, then by all means keep it. It's not going anywhere. But when you are getting a mouse like a Magic Mouse 2, you don't have to. You basically remove the most annoying thing, which is basically replacing the batteries. That is the most annoying thing. And whenever I use my Magic Mouse 1, mostly for videos, it's just so annoying to have to replace those batteries. But if that's not an annoying thing to you, then by all means, pick it up. You can get them for so cheap now, it's not even funny. They're available all over the place. And I think the reason for that is because schools and universities probably upgrade to the Magic Mouse 2s. and they just sell a lot of these mouses at one time, and you can pick them up. You can probably even get them for free if you just talk to somebody, and they'll probably give you one. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I got you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.